Okay, so we're sitting here with Shmuel Diamond on Purim, Shushan Purim in Yerushalyim, and he just gave me his wonderful card, Bnei Aliyah, helping Yidden serve Hashem Lishma, Bnei-Aliyah.com, and we're giving a big shout out to Shmuel Diamond because he's enabled us, and I call him a rabbi in this case, he's enabled us to have an amazing summary in English in Tanya, very concise and clear. I sense a little bit of Eckhart Tolle in it. We'll discuss that in a minute. Amen. But maybe it's like you always say, it all goes back to Tanya. Even wherever Eckhart Tolle got it from, probably goes back to Tanya. Anyway, so it's a Balingan Day Purim Yerushalayim, so we've got a Chapparayan and whatever we do say. We're going to have first the L'chaim.
Amen.
And Shmuel was telling me how he managed to get a nice, good chevra in LA interested into the Bnei-Aliyah.com teachings and Torah. Tell us the story.
I'll say something else if that's okay.
Yeah.
So for many years, I've always learned that Yiddishkeit is about Ruchnius. And I always learned that the goal of Yiddishkeit is to infuse the Gashmius with Ruchnius.
Right.
So I learned over the past few years that that's not correct, and it's the cause of a lot of suffering. Really what the goal of Yiddishkeit is to infuse the Gashmius with Elikus and the Ruchnius with Elikus.
Oh.
Ruchnius is not there's no milah mitzad itself. It's got no milah unto itself, just because we're from the West and there's no more Ruchnius.
Yeah, so it feels like a big milah, yeah.
So yeah, but it's not. Ruchnius is the real kesher to Hashem. So before Matan Torah, the Avos and all the tzaddikim were Mekayim the whole Torah. Avram sat under a tree in Mamre. He was Mekayim mitzvah's sukkah.
Yeah.
And Yaakov used like twigs, like.
Welcome Purim. My kinder see you around. The Shalom factory, all the other good things you're doing. Like you're crying.
So.
See how easy that is. You just can give your child the phone without worrying where it's going to go. I'm just joking. Kosher phone. Go to the site, you'll understand on the link.
So by Matan Torah, before Matan Torah, it was Kuli Kravana, and there was a remez with the Maisa.
Right.
Now you can't be Mekayim mitzvah sitting under a tree. Right. You can't be Mekayim tefillin.
Very specific. You have to do according to a Torah Shabbat pair and the way the Rabbonim, the Masorah came out. We have specific mitzvahs with Masaveh to do, and a specific way of doing it.
The whole Metzias of the world, flipped. Hashem was Yored al Har-Sinai, and before Har-Sinai, the Ruchnius was Ikka and the Gashmius was Tofel. Once Hashem came down, the Gashmius became Ikka and the Ruchnius became Tofel. Now you can put on tefillin, as long as you put on the right tefillin at the right time, you makam the mitzvah without any kavanah. That's amazing. That means the whole of Metzias of reality flipped around. Yeah. Wow. So now the whole world's talking about Ruchnius and we need these experiences and things. Hashem's taking it all away from us. Everyone's distracted like crazy. There's crazy experiences of Ruchnius but in the secular world.
Sure.
So we're left with Gashmius. So it's like, well, what's Hashem doing? And I've realized that the real closeness you want to feel close to Hashem, it's not about feeling His love for you. If you want to feel close to Hashem, I can love my wife with the deepest, most profound love.
By the way, everyone in the frat loves his wife because she's the one who's sending us all these gifts for the Charedim, from the Charedim supposedly, to the Ephratians. The parents of soldiers.
The guys killing themselves.
They give a big love and shout out to her.
Thank you.
If that's near to say that, but whatever. True Abba.
Yeah, mamash.
And Mr. Abba.
So you can look into your wife's eyes and feel tremendous love for her, yeah? But that doesn't count for a drop than when you go and do the washing up for her.
Welcome Purim Long time no see.
Yeah.
Is that part of your fancy dress? The eye patch, the eye thing?
I have a lot of...
Should see what's wearing underneath this.
Oh, well.
Wait, did you get the cigarettes I brought for you?
Which one?
I brought you a packet.
Come Purim.
Right,
I brought you a packet.
Yeah, the goal.
No, I bought you Marlboro Red.
Balkazar will be out next week. We get like a few days out. He's protecting us all right now. He's on the border, literally shooting our enemies.
Wow.
It's because they're trying to get back into Israel. They didn't give up. Just like we shouldn't give up. Happy Purim, Purim. We mustn't give up. Like they teach us a lot about persistency. These guys, MASHA, they're like being smashed and they're still coming for us.
Yeah, they're still coming.
And then Mamish B'chinas Amalek probably.
Yeah.
So we have to Mamish take them out. This is the day. We've got a hanged Haman in front of us since it's Purim here. So my son said he took out 9 of them. That was yesterday. I spoke to him on the phone. So I said maybe there was a 10th, because then it'll be Mamish to feed the Megillah, because we just heard the Megillah. 10 sons of Haman. Yeah, on the border. Mamish on the border.
He's getting dropped?
No. He's working hard, killing our enemies, protecting us all. He got to hear the Megillah Baruch Hashem while he was there, but that meant he didn't sleep in order to hear the Megillah. It's a different Bechina of Mesiras Nefesh for Yiddishkeit in that place, but he's doing it, Baruch Hashem. And we appreciate that you went and took all these gifts for the soldiers. I heard about it.
Story.
Everyone's had their shtafas. Yeah, I mean, you can do it again. They're still doing on the service.
Zot Hashem.
Yeah, they're living in the Mesiras Nefesh that we all need to head towards. Just the only thing is, what Rav Shlomo said, the problem is when they come back here, that's when the billboard begins for them, because they see us not living in Mesiras Nefesh, and then it just confuses them as living in Mesiras Nefesh, and it could come after Shalom Klipas Kochemetz and Yodi, instead of becoming the Shema like we're learning and talking about now. So we have to make sure we're in the right place, and when they come back and see the Torah mitzvahs of Am Yisrael, they're not seeing people just, selfish. I think that's where you were heading, right? Somewhat. Getting out, being selfish, like self.
What I was saying just now?
Yeah.
So I was saying a little, like, I'm saying in regards to feeling, if you want to, like I said, you can have all the love for your wife in the world, yeah? It's not worth a tipa.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you, Simcha.
Simcha.
Oh, thank you, Elisheva. Square. How kind.
I know the mommy likes these cupcakes.
Yeah, we'll get into it. That's so nice.
I just stuffed in a few stuff.
Thank you very
Because
much.
I got so much truth.
Oh, real Purim Kavra.
So I'm saying, you can love your wife with the deepest love, but that's not worth anything compared to just doing the washing up.
Yeah.
Doing a little miser for her is worth everything. So the idea of feeling Hashem's love for you, being enveloped in the warmth and the light and the when you see Hashem do little kindnesses for you in your life, that's Kiras Hashem Mamash. Without all the big kavanas and the big
and everyone knowing,
the big musagim, and just without the feelings, without that, just seeing Hashem touching your life in little ways.
Sure.
And I've worked out how do you get him to be involved in your life in the most profound way, is when you dedicate yourself to him 100%, and you start becoming mukpid on your time so that you can serve him properly.
Sure.
Then he starts in the most profound way caring for your zman. Like the Mishnah says, be mevatel your what's on by his,
it's also,
and he's mevatel what's on a chayrim.
Yeah, it's also brought, another raya is brought with kashrus, because Derek the Teva, the percentage at some point you're going to eat something not kosher. However much Ishtadlus the Haksharim do. So I remember hearing from Moshe Wolfson, he said the Yerushalyim have an extra Sata D'Shmaya. It's brought in Shulchan Aruch.
Yeah, and it's in
they have
the
Sata D'Shmaya that Hashem himself will protect them. I mean, we say in Halal as well, Shalom Pesoim, Hashem protects those who even simple people, but they're dedicated to Hashem. Those simple people are dedicated to Hashem. That's a milah. Another thing is that in Likutei Moharan it says that if you have B'tochen, Hashem's going to look after you in terms of bris, then Hashem will himself promises. Rabbi Nachman brings us himself will look after you in the bris. So I've always felt that because I'm working on it. Having that B'tochen, I've had that extra shmira that I wouldn't have had if I would have tried to do it in more like literature, halakha, all the different chumras and stuff. Rather, it's more of a relationship with Hashem that's the key to the kedusha. Because like Rav Zusha, he reached all the levels, and he wasn't like machbid, like like in a more halachic way. He came there from the Torah, the Shorish of the Torah.
The Hakara needs to come from your commitment to Hashem, not the other way.
Yeah.
That Hakara is like taking things on.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be this idea of I'm taking this on. It's the idea of it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you've gone further in the relationship, just like a man who's very dedicated with his wife.
What you're saying is exactly what Rav Shlomo Katz brought down about from Rav Shlomo Kalibach. He says Purim is YITZCHAK. What's YITZCHAK? That Kedusha becomes natural to you, becomes part of your life. Like you don't have to force it. It's not like some fake sort of. It's a real thing. So what's Yom Kippur? It's YITZCHAK. So it's Eitzadas Tovara. It's a tikkun of Eitzadas Tovara through kapara, through like the more like derech HaTorah way, the way we always understood it. Now we're at the next level of in Purim of YITZCHAK, Ad Liyoda Blidas. We're just tuned in to what's in Hashem. It's a different kind of.
And you know, the funny thing is, this is really the Tanya, because the Pashup Pshat of Tanya is it's about behaving correctly. That's the Pashup Pshat, about perfect behavioural.
Beinani.
The soid of Tanya is that the good behaviour. He says, Shmoech Shelet Alalev. I always say like this: you haven't smoked a cigarette for a year.
Yeah.
You're about to smoke a cigarette. You're dying for a cigarette. Yeah. No one can stop you.
The rod's strong.
A guy jumps out.
Even if it says all these horrible things, it means nothing.
A guy jumps out. It says, "I'll give you $10,000 not to smoke that cigarette." Yeah. You won't smoke the cigarette. You're still sholet. The moyach is always sholet alalev. So he just says it's been a stam that your behaviour can be perfect. That's just, as long as you're a normal, healthy human being, your behaviour can be perfect. You might not understand things clear enough, right. But that's not the point of the Tanya. The point of the Tanya is that behaviour feeds back into the system and is mataher the pneumius. The whole derech of Tanya is that the way you're masaching the pneumius is through the behaviour. It's not that it's about behavioural perfection. It's about inner perfection. It's about perfection. It's about perfection of the midas. He just takes behavioural perfection as that's the way to get there. But that's matahe yumamish. That's matahe. In that book, there's a book called Atomic Habits. You know that book? No. It's a great book. Amazing.
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. A very famous book. Very famous book. It's amazing.
Is it on your site also?
You gotta go type
I'm
in
just
Atomic
saying,
Habits.
did you put it up there as one
There's
of the...
a link to sure. But
that's why go to his website, Bnei Aliyah. I even noticed my website there now, and I actually cleaned up my website.
Okay,
looks much better now.
He says that very clearly. Yeah. You want to act like a tzaddik, so act like a tzaddik. Yeah. And then what's going to happen is you're going to start feeling like a tzaddik. And then you're going to start acting more like a tzaddik.
But the Indian of tzaddik, remember, if you're doing strict according to Lashon Tanya, which is what we're dealing with right now, we're around Perek so we're 14th Perek right
That's
now.
the Beinoni.
Yeah, we're still dealing with the inner struggle and the Beinoni. So you see with the Beinoni, it's like, it's halavai, tzaddik is almost like the me at him, you know?
You're right, we're not, but he's
like
telling
halavai
you
Beinoni.
Yeah, you're right.
And the only reason Beinoni is because, and there was a poor notion that the explanation on the Tanya brought, one of the explanations, there was Chaim Miller's one, I don't know if you've seen it, it's pretty good, it's called the In-Betweeners.
Yeah, sure.
So he says there, he brought from the Rebbe, Shlita, or Zatzal, however you refer to him, and he said that it's as if you're like a Russia, it's like you're like Russia, you're never really a Russia, because you're always going to do tshuva. That's the whole thing with Beinoni. So it's always fluctuating, but you're really always a Beinoni. You just had moments of Yerida, whatever.
The Omega of Tanya is you're not a Beinoni. The five madregas in the Tanya, you're shaykh to all five madregas.
Oh, really?
The Tanya is talking about inner experiences of the Yid. It's not talking about people.
It's not categories.
They're not. Chas v'shalom, you should put anybody else in the category. You shouldn't even put yourself in the category. The experience of the Beinoni is
when the Russia, for example, Mamish flies over it. Except he ends up with that whole thing with 10 Rishayim with Shina Shurban. Even that, it leaves in a positive way.
The Russia is the difference in the Russia and the Beinoni.
Doesn't even stay there.
We have that experience. The experience of the Beinoni is when you don't have perfect behavioural perfection. Right now, you're not doing anything wrong, bichlal, and you haven't got a taiva to do anything wrong. And if I was to bring you in a Avera right now, Yeah, it wouldn't even interest you.
Really
So right now you're either in the matzav of a Bnei, maybe you're even in a matzias of a tzaddik v'raloi. You could even be in the matzias of a tzaddik v'tovloi.
No, I understand the concept of like ibur neshamas but to actually be in that definition where the raw is so mere, whereas bottle b'shishim or bottle b'elef.
What are you
I'm not
doing
in
right
that.
now? What are you doing
Well,
right now?
I've got like a voice inside of me.
Right now? You're talking Torah.
Yeah, but there's a nunnik.
No, you're talking Torah right now.
In the back of my head.
He's not there right
Making
now.
money.
You're talking,
I don't know.
the fact that you're talking
voice.
about him
Yeah.
means he's not there right now.
Yeah.
You're in the Metzias of a tzaddik right now.
That was the thing with the Eckhart Tolle that came up, about how you identify yourself. That's
This is the Tanya.
But that's Eckhart Tolle's whole Nakuda.
This is what the Tanya is saying. When you act correctly, you start identifying with good behaviour.
Yeah.
That's a tzaddik. A tzaddik starts identifying with behaviour of mitzvahs. A tzaddik is identified with the behaviour
Because
of
that
mitzvahs.
is really main Nakuda of Eckhart Tolle's whole thing. Right?
Absolutely.
How you
Identification.
identify, yeah.
You know in Lashon Tanya what it means to disidentify with something?
Disassociate, yeah.
Well, you know what the Tanya, when you see these words in Tanya?
Yeah.
Masich das.
Yeah, that's his.
Masich das
Shita.
means to
Shita
disidentify.
Chabad, yeah.
That's called disidentification.
Yeah, they should. Some of the translations, if they would use that, it's actually a better translation. It's more according to the reality. I think Chaim Miller heads a bit more towards those kind of languages.
Chaim Miller's book is fantastic.
Yeah. What about? He's a bit academic, though, a little bit. Too much.
Let's say all of Tanya is a bit academic.
Yeah. But what about if you go to Manis Freeman now? Does he talk differently a little bit, or he's still the same as he was like 30 years ago?
Manis Friedman is so beyond everything that I know of. Yeah.
There's a friend what's coming in. His kid was nifta before a week. And I think he doesn't have money for a table.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. But
really?
Manis has gone so beyond the. He's internalized Tanya so deeply, and now he's there for the olam. So he says what he says is to say it's watered down is the wrong thing. When you know Tanya deeply and you know Rav Manis's Torah deeply, everything he says it's like a tip of a mountain, and you jump from spitz to spitz to spitz of the mountain. That's it. So he's giving it over to the olam bichlal. So he's clothing it in so much clothing that you could think it's just whatever, but it's so beyond everything. And that's exactly that. So Rav Manis is, I recommend very much looking at stuff that he's recorded from years ago when he was
less
not there for the whole world. And then he explains the inyanim so deep.
He was one of the famous explanations of Tanya on Chabad.org. I remember that was
he was the
between him and Kaplan. There was the two main.
Who? Aryeh Kaplan?
No, the one from Toronto. What his name is. And there was also the lessons in Tanya. That's really good. I mean, still the language is a bit maybe needs to be updated a little bit.
There's the Tanya on my website. There's Rav Manis Shirim, the Tanya 200.
Yeah,
that's the original. That's the mamash, the Torah Shabbat pair of Chabad.
I listened to Tanya from Rav Moshe Wolfson. He has a whole set of shirim on it. It's very, very powerful. That was where I got that whole thing about the with kashrus. That was on Tanya. He brought that because he was bringing it to show you the Indian of how Balit Tshuva can also be Mila. The whole thing is hafcha. About Tshuva can transform Gimel Klippos Tameis to Kedusha even before Mashiach comes. Because he's serving Hashem with the Gimel Klippos Tameis.
Everything we do is transferring the Gimel Klippos Tameis. I'll help her. He's recording. Just quiet. So our whole personality is completely based on Gimel Klippos Tameis. So everything we do involves our personality. That's why the Yid. That's why
the way it sounds in the Tanya is also once again only when it's Moshe Mashiach it will be elevated.
That's for sure. But the reason why Yid has a nefesh Bahamas from Klippos Noiga and not from Klippos Tameis is because the Yid is elevated. All of the things in this world we lift up. Yeah. If you look in chapter 7, he talks about the Tanugim. He says like with Rabbah, remember you're bis with the Shmeina, it's like weird. Why are you talking about Esrog and Stender and all that kind of stuff, lifting up this world? He just talks about lifting up the Tanug, right? Because the Ikka the Ikka Mila that we're doing, the Ikka raising that we're doing is the Nefesh Bahamas. Every mitzvah, so for sure you are raising up the wood and you're raising up the meat and you're raising up all the stuff of the world, but that's a kind of secondary thing. The Ikka Halah that you're doing in everything you do is the Kiddush, being Mekadosh the Nefesh Bahamas. That's why our Nefesh Bahamas is on Klippas Noiga.
Right.
And the Goyish Nefesh Bahamas is Klippas Tameas. Because you can't lift up Klippas Tameas. So we're laser. The difference, if you want to know the difference.
Let's take Gerim. They're elevating the Klippas Tameas.
Fadai, 100%. The 100%, even more than the Baal Tshuva in a lot of ways. But the difference between the Nefesh Bahamas of a Goy and the Nefesh Bahamas of a Yid, because one's from Klippas Tameas, one's from Klippas Noiga. What's the difference? The difference is two pieces of steak. One's treif, one's kosher. Can you see any difference?
Physically, if you look at it,
can you taste the difference?
When I see Joe Rogan posting his tray for meat, it looks just like some American
that's the difference
from
between
guys barbecue. Maybe his is a bit better quality, but
that's the point of the difference between our human kite and their human kite is kimat the same. There's a difference in what you can raise it up, but Lamaisa you can learn so much from Goyisha, I don't want to say philosophy, but from Goyisha Hadrocha in this door about how to be human, because their human kite and our human kite is kimat the same. It's kimat the same. So there's amazing things out there to learn, and it's that's the kiddush. That's been Makadosh.
The kiddush they seem to all miss, and this is why I wrote that book, United Souls, and I'm still going to be working on it with Hashem, is that they're missing the soul level. They don't connect to soul so much. Soul sort of been, as someone said to me, I think it was actually yesterday, or the nights that mostly Shabbos Purim and mostly Shabbos on Purim in a frat. He said the problem is they associate soul with God, and God has been pasul, Like,
God has been what?
Made pasul, like he's like some angry. They don't understand who God. They've disassociated with God. A lot of people in the world, They call it the universe. They have other stupid names, But the point is that the soul level is where, because of because of the way religion sort of became very chitzonius, like you were saying, the ruchnius became like almost like Yoshua
Ruchnius
style.
became God. Ruchnius became God.
Instead of being
bottled to what's in Hashem. So you heard of a guy called.
But that's also connected to the neshama as well. Because then the neshama level, which is a pure chelik of Elokai mamish, also became. So then they're not even interested, even in the frum people, they're interested in the neshama. You talk to frum people about neshama, they're like, what? Unless they're learning these kind of svarim.
You've heard of Rupert Spiro?
I heard of Rabbi Spiro.
No, his name Rupert Spiro, but he's Moedik. Very, very sichlik, Moedik. Kashor to Achtus Hashem, like I never heard, So he summarizes everything. When somebody says to him, explain to me this idea of non-duality and however, he says, what's the most primary thing you can say about yourself? The first thing that you can say about yourself. Go on. The first thing.
A yid.
So don't say that if you weren't a yid. The first thing you can say about yourself, anyone can say it yourself, is I am. Just I am. That's being makash yourself to the essence of. That's the difference between yes and no. But I realise this is the difference. See, a goy says I am. That's the highest level a goy can get to. I am. And this is what a yid says. This is not going to make so much sense, but this is what to think about. He says I am. Period. Yours. Period. Meaning a yid can get to the I am, the pinimius of what he is, mamash, which is just being, but he can be makasha that to the Yerushalyim. Meaning he can live in this reality of what's the thing about yours? I am yours means there's me and God. The goy can't have me and God. The goy can become God in a sense. That's a bad way of saying it, but the boy can be makasher himself to Ein Sof, where his I am and the Rebbeinu Shalom's Anoichi is one. But the Yid can live in the world of I am yours. Meaning I can live in that world.
I'm a yesh, but I'm also a bottle.
No, the opposite. It's the opposite. That's the chiddush. Is I'm bottle, but I'm also a yesh. I'm mamash echad.
Why does it have to be that order?
because that's the order how it goes. The chiddush of a yid is not that he can reach to the highest place, because a goy has got as much kesher with the yid as a yid has to Ein Sof. A goy and a yid has got equal kesher, just like a stone has equal kesher to Ein Sof. But the yid can live in a Messias where God becomes lower than that, where I can relate to God as an outside entity. So that's I am. So the chiddush of Yiddishkeit is not that you can go so high. The chiddush of Yiddishkeit is that you can actually be in this world.
People have issues with that, though, even in the film world. Like they're worried about it for second course or something. You hear
of what? Of the bitter.
That sounds like Rabbanis Friedman's shita about how much Hashem wants relationship with us, and they always, I don't know, I never understood like the conversation. I don't like it.
That's because it's so holy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's his
You've seen all this.
100%. But that is the.
Did the Rebbe himself say this kind of stuff?
100%. Reb Manish's one shtick. The Rebbe, he speaks only what the Rebbe said, mamash. But the whole chiddush of the Yid.
How can I have a taina on the Rebbe? The Rebbe, you can never have a taina on him. He was bigger than everybody. You can't have a taina on the Rebbe. Manis Freeman, you could say, look, he's a chassid of the Rebbe, so we can have a taina on the chassid.
I'm not sure. I don't know about. Again, like we you know, how much would we in this door? How much would we be able to be makabel? You know, the Baal Shem Tov coming. How we're so caught up in. Or did the Ramah say this? Is this you saw this in the? Where? Tell me where you saw this. Yeah, we're so caught up in needing to qualify things externally. How would we deal with a new man coming on the scene who's mamash spitz kedusha? We wouldn't be. That wouldn't be so pasha. So it's not so. That's not so straightforward. Who Rav Manis is, like the Torah that he's giving over now is. It's so. Not only is it so deep, it's so shaykh, and it's the answer to all of our bayot as well. Not that that's.
You're still listening to YY and Shai's Taub? It's also amazing.
Yeah, 100%. But YY as well is.
Also, I want you to know that Rav Shlomo. Oh, nice! Wow. All these stuff manisses are coming. One more to put it. Shlomo is very into Ginsburg.
רוצה כסף? לא יודע.
תביא לו כסף, תביא לו.
יש לה שמות.
תביא לו.
תביא לי כמה שם, יש לך כמה שם?
לא, אני אביא מהפעם.
בסדר, קח.
That's clever. Eliyahu. I only take big notes. Now, Rav Ginsburg, he's been bringing down a lot of Rav Ginsburg. He's very much a follower of his. And so we're learning a lot of his svarim, and it's amazing. I mean, it's also Tanya at the end of the day.
Sure.
But it's, you know, he has more Kabbalistic maybe focus, and also very, like right now we're doing Tikkun Medina. But the only way the Medina, that's what Shlomo is saying, the only way the Medina can come to a Tikkun, because it's a broken Kalim, and we know, we see what's been going on in living here in Eretz HaKodesh, is the only way it's through the Torahs of Mashiach. It's through
this is what we just said before. Yeah. I am yours. That's how I understand.
Remember Chaim said that we're going to understand when Mashiach comes. Yesh ma'ayin and
absolutely.
Yesh. That's going to be the paradox that will come. Yeah. So maybe there's a certain Orosh of Mashiach right now, because it's sort of coming.
This is how I understand the Medina. Yeah. Is this what's it called? This nationalistic, this nationalism.
Yeah.
That's the I am. That's the ego in the Yiddishkeit with the shtickle klipa.
But that's what someone was saying about the soldiers.
That's going to get removed.
They're coming to a point where they have their bottle as well. Right now they are anyway.
How can you not be bottle?
They're in a state of bitter, living such discomfort and trying to still serve Hashem. And even the secular ones are starting to want to do mitzvahs. You know, people put tefillin on and tzitzis, and there's a certain need for Yiddish and Neshamas, no matter how brainwashed against the from world, their neshamas want Yiddishkeit without all the shtick, you know? They just want a pure thing. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but pure. They don't want
not being religious.
Yeah,
without
they don't
religion.
want that. None of them want that.
Yiddishkeit without religion.
Like Guy Hochman, he took on Shabbos as part Shabbos.
Who did?
Guy Hochman. He's a famous Jewish comedian. It's called the Sarachir. Like he's like makes everyone laugh. He's a funny guy. Anyway, so he took on Shabbos and he's Pasha Zochor, Machir Amalek. You know, he took it on. And he was talking about it, and before, after, and his main thing is.
Time to go?
He always said he's going to go. He always end up in it. He says, he says, I don't want to be religious, but I want to keep Shabbos. That's exactly what you're saying.
This is it. Just
and it's happening en masse. Like thousands of people came in with that. Because of that concept. People are online for that. They're ready for it. All of YISRAEL are ready
everything
for that.
else in the world is religion. Atheism is a religion.
Wokeism.
Capitalism is wokeism is a religion.
All this
left
nonsense.
The only thing in the world that isn't a religion? Yiddishkeit. Yiddishkeit is the only thing in the world that isn't a religion. It's stripping away all of the shtuyot.
I'm tell you religious. I never felt comfortable saying I'm religious.
When I was in LA,
I know I didn't want to say about I'm spiritual. That also sounds lame, you know.
No, we're here to do Ratz Hashem. We're here to serve. When I was in LA, I spoke in front of 100 people, and I said that. Just me. I was like, Avraham Avinu was the least religious man that ever walked the planet. That's why he was chosen by Hashem. He had no religion, Bichlal. His tent was open on all four sides. He had no Gedarim defining him. That's what Yiddishkeit is about. So our whole avoid of Yiddishkeit is becoming the least religious we can become. We're here to just do. That
was a team Nakuda though. Back to the 5 levels of the Tanya brings. So it's not a category; it's a Metzias.
What is
those Bnei Tzaddik?
They're inner experiences, and you can cycle through them all. Every day, and
obviously the goal is to be a tzaddik, halavai, ulam yisrael. I make kulam tzaddikim. That's the goal.
I'll tell you, in this door, this is for another time, but in this door, and this was what the Rebbe was talking about the whole time, we are the first door that en masse are shaykh to the madrega of tzaddik v'tova. If you understand what tzaddik v'tova really is, for the first time in history, he's got a whole nation of Yidden who are shaykh to be ovid on that level. That's what Bnei Eliezer. That's mamash what Bnei Eliezer.
We can all become Bnei Aliyah. It's not miyat. That whole thing on the Gemara, miyat.
So close. Miyat means I'm a miyat.
No, but it's something like 3 people in time of Shimba Yochai.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the chiddush of our door. When it's an arichas, I can spend it another time.
Well, because it's so external, the Yitzhak, that it becomes.
No, I'll tell you why.
What's the Pneumius?
The Pneumius is there's no ruchnius left for us. There's no experience left in Yiddishkeit. And any experience you have, it gets stuck away by the vibration in your pocket with your Facebook thing. There's no experience left. And mitzad sheni, there's endless experience in the secular world. So now what are you left with? Why are you doing mitzvahs? Just for the Avodah Shalom.
Completely
it's the hardest klipa to break is the klipa of getting hana from the avodah. So Hashem's engineered reality.
Listen to Rav Huawei Jacobson's latest class from Thursday last week.
I think I listened to it. What's it called?
That what you just said.
That's where
he's
we're
like
holding
saying
right
what's
now.
machshavas chaman is the thought that I'm not shaykh that. I can never really be shaykh that nekuda, and that's why there's all these self-hating Jews, because he said l'melam eschus is really hard to serve Hashem now, because it means you're doing it totally l'shem shemayim.
This is exactly where we're holding right now. This is exactly where we're holding right now.
He's understood.
This is what the Lubavitcher was trying to give to the world. That's why we're called. But this is why this organisation is called Bnei Aliyah, and this is helping Yidden be.
That's a big limit on Kleisel that we all reach, and for our door that we can become Bnei Aliyah. But it's really the only way that makes sense. Because they always ask, why would Mashiach come to this door? So that's the Pneumius answer. But
that's exactly the point.
Because it's Yechida. It's Pneumius.
We've gone to the essence of reality. And it's like...
That's what Avraham Avinu, when he said about YITZCHAK, Yechidacha. He's always talking about Yechidacha again and again. He
was makriv with the Yechidacha. He was makriv with the
Purim is Yechidacha, Simchas Torah is Yechidacha. That's why this whole MASHA happened on Purim, because it's clarifying all the difference between us and these Yishmaelim or whatever they are. Yeah?
What MASHA happened on Purim?
I mean, Simchas Torah. It's a day of Yechidacha, of Yichud. People are like, how could it be? Or even by what happened on Meron, how could it happen? Because there was too much religiousness going on. So we needed to just get out of that, smash that, and all just become a nation again of their Shem.
This is very exciting, you realise this?
Because really that's what Hashem's undoing. Because people find it really hard. What happened on Meron a few years ago? Corona, all these things that have happened. It's hard. It's like attacking all our religious institutions.
We should be zeich to let go of all religion. Religion is for the ground. I'll tell you. Just it says the Sheva Mitzvah Noach. The first one is don't do avodah zara, lo lekala es Hashem. Then there's Ritzicha, Geneva, Arias, Eva Menachai, and Batei Dinim. Yeah. There's no command to believe in the Bnei Shalom. They don't have a command to believe in the Bnei Shalom. And even when it says Lo lekala es Hashem, you know what the lashon on the Sfarim is? Lo levarich es Hashem. Lashanaki, and then in brackets it says lekalel. Why? Because when the goyim are mevarich Hashem, you end up with things like October 7th. They take Hashem and they fit him into. They fit. That was probably without any question. That was the most said word on October 7th. Allah Akbar. When you fit God into your world, so God isn't for the goyim. God isn't for the goyim because they end up fitting him into their. The only reason why a Yid can have an actual relationship with reality is because you have a chalik of that inside yourself. It's nothing to do with you.
And that's the Indian of again the Nefesh Elokus.
That's exactly that's cool.
They don't have a full gilui of that.
So
they have some sort of.
They're human beings. Yeah. Human beings is a moiridica thing.
Salam Aleichem.
Moiridica thing. But we're zeicha to Yechida, like you just said.
Well, look, we've had many of these conversations over the years on the phone, and this is the first time we've ever recorded one. So like, whoever listens, you can go to his site Bnei-Aliyah.com. We're going to keep learning the Tanya according to these kinds of understandings. Thanks to Shmuel's beautiful summary and Vita. There's lots and lots of Makoris and Torah there on his site, and we're going to keep sharing our side as well in a frat. And Mr. Shem, we're now in Yerushalyim. Enjoy the rest of Purim. Like the Hashem should help us with the Gilui of this and Mashiach came. Wow, love it.